Sorry, Officer Evans?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you calling, sir?
I didn't call anybody yet. I was just trying to find some information.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just recording you for accountability. I'm sorry, sir.
I was just looking for some information.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So no one else has told me right now?
No.
Okay. All right. So what else do we have with Mr. Zuckerberg?
Well, all of the evidence is on my website.
You want to show it to me again?
Sure. But I'm recording on my phone now. Can you take down my website name?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. It's JOHNCLAS.
C. Like your last name?
Yeah. .wordpress.com.
.wordpress.com.
Yeah, so I have evidence of his wiretapping, his hacking. I even traced one of his hacking attacks from his IP address back to one of his data centers. Okay. And also I have evidence of his censorship and shadow banning on the internet and algorithmic censorship as well.
Done through, is it Facebook or is it the other one? What's
Meta? Yeah, that's their new name for their new company. That's their new shell.
I'm not up on like the...
Yeah, he's the founder and CEO of Facebook, but they changed it to Meta Platforms because that's the new shell company name. Okay. Yes, but I have evidence going back to 2016 and also some anecdotal testimony about anomalous events happening in my life. Even since I was a little child, yeah. They have been stalking me and my family for a long time, and I don't want to associate with these people. I don't want to have anything to do with them.
That's fair.
Yes, sir. So you don't think I'm psychotic, right?
I don't know. I don't know enough yet about what's going on.
Okay, sir. You're not going to call the EMTs, right?
I have no reasons right now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Listen, the only reason I'm calling EMTs is if you're a threat to yourself.
Okay, no, I'm not, sir.
You're not a threat to yourself?
No, sir. No.
No suicidal thoughts? No,
sir.
No thoughts of self-harm?
No.
Okay. Because it seems, why would Mark want to Zuckerberg?
Well, sir, it's not not necessarily true that you need to have a motive to have evidence of a crime.
I'm not saying that. I'm trying to find out more about why he might want to do that.
I don't know, sir. I don't know why he's targeting my family, but I have evidence going back years that establishes probable cause that he's doing it, sir. Okay. And it can be peer-reviewed, and it's very, very jamming evidence. Mm-hmm. And I'm a very intelligent young man, and I know how to do many types of forensic analysis. Okay. So if you don't believe my evidence, you can defer to other experts and gather your own evidence as well, too.
I come here with open mind, right?
Okay, sir.
I'm not saying I don't take sides.
Yes, sir.
Right? So it's not about that. I'm just trying to piece together what's going on.
Yes,
I'm trying to figure out why that might be happening.
Yes, sir. To tell you the truth, I don't know what his motive is because for the last 8+ years since they've been doing this to me, they never talked to me personally. Okay. Sometimes I would receive harassing death threats and phone calls too, which I also have on my website, and I trace back to them in Southern.
You ever call police about that?
Yes, sir. I called the FBI and other jurisdictions numerous times.
What was the outcome of that?
They never did anything. And what happened was I filed 2 lawsuits because I filed the Freedom of Information Act request with the FBI, okay. And they had told me numerous times that they were investigating, but they had lied to me. And in the Freedom of Information Act request, via the subpoena of their records via the Freedom of Information Act, they said that they didn't have any records. So they had lied to me numerous times. Okay. And I spoke to a special agent in the Newark field office named Special Agent Laura Trudell, and another special agent.
What was his name?
Her name was Laura Trudell.
Sure, okay.
And I also spoke to another special agent named Mr. Ventura, and he told me that they were investigating, but they had lied to me. And I also tried to file 2 lawsuits, and the lawsuits were just rammed through the courts without any proper jurisdiction.
What was that done in?
The Federal District Court of Newark, New Jersey, sir.
Okay.
So you can even see this evidence on my website in terms of what happened. Okay. So the order to either move forward with the case, the first lawsuit, the civil suit, was blank for 2.
Who was that filed against?
Mr. Zuckerberg, the Elizabeth Police Department, the FBI, Trinitas Regional Medical Center, and
what was it?
Trinitas Regional Medical Center and Palantir Technologies.
Why the medical center?
Because they had restrained me and deprived me of my civil liberties and rights because they had presumed that I was psychotic, even though I had evidence, okay. And I was talking very rationally with them, and I asked them to give me the fair benefit of the doubt, and they had gaslighted me, and they had deprived me of my civil liberties and rights at the hospital numerous times.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let me call my supervisor because I'm not quite sure. Okay?
Okay, sir.
How you want it? So let me do that.
So, but you're not going to call the EMTs, right?
No, right now, no.
Will you do it later, sir?
I don't know.
Okay, but if you do...
I want my second opinion, that's why, okay? Because I don't never dealt with Mark Zuckerberg, right? So I don't know how...
Do you have a phone on you?
No, it's in the car.
Okay, well, I can't show you the evidence on my website because I'm recording you for accountability, so...
That's fine.
All right, listen, but I'm not going to voluntarily consent to go to the hospital if you think...
That's fine. That's why I asked that question, right? It's the only time you have to go to the hospital, is if you're suicidal, right? You tell
no,
me
sir.
Not, right? There's no thought to self-harm.
No, sir.
Right? So that's really what would be the outcome of that.
Yes, sir.
I can't make that. Besides those things, those reasons, I can't send to the hospital.
Yes,
without
Officer Evans, I've been severely abused for the last few years, the last 8+ years, and I've been gaslighted, and I've been forced to go to psychiatric hospitals, even though I was not psychotic, and forcibly administered drugs against my will, and deprived food and water at those hospitals, and the ability to see a lawyer or a judge numerous times, and I don't want it to happen now, sir.
Okay. Listen, I don't want that for you either, okay?
Okay, sir.
I think I've been pretty decent, right?
Okay.
I think we can agree to that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just give me call my supervisor real quick, okay?
Okay.
And we'll go from there, okay?
Okay, thank you, Officer Evans. Rally, stop it. Hello, officer. What is your name, sir?
James Carney.
Hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Carney. Officer Carney.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm just recording you for accountability purposes, okay?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
no problem. We got our cameras on too.
Okay, that's okay.
All right, thanks.
Nope.
With you in a minute, okay?
No problem, sir. Officer, what's your name, sir? How do you pronounce your name? Rossi?
Yes.
Okay, how are you, sir? Nice to meet you. I'm good, sir, Officer Rossi. Sure, sir. My name is John LaSharis. Nice to meet you, sir. Yes, I've reported to the police numerous times that a Mr. Mark Zuckerberg from Meta Platforms has been harassing me and my family for years.
Okay.
And going back to 2016, I've established probable cause that he's been hacking my devices, wiretapping my devices legally, that he had sex trafficked my wife and forced her father to join the Freemasons under the duress and stress of death. And even her father confessed that to me. I saw a Mr. John Carmack in Newark, New Jersey stalking me, and I have evidence of that too. I spoke to a Mr. Jonas Krohn from Trillium Asset Management, who was leading a quorum against Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, and he had received a confession from a Facebook employee that these people were committing crimes against me.
Okay.
And I have other forms of proof on my website which establishes probable cause and can be peer reviewed, that I'm not a psychotic danger to myself or anybody else, that I'm not delusional, and that I'm testifying to the truth that Mr. Zuckerberg is severely harassing me and my family.
Okay.
And he tried to kill me and my family numerous times. And I also have proof that he's using microwave transmissions to torture me. And I've also used shielding to protect myself from it, and it stops the transmissions.
Okay.
But he keeps torturing me and harassing me and my family. And I want my girlfriend Isabella Santiago to be set free if she doesn't want to be held hostage by him. And I have proof that they had been censoring me on the internet as well. Okay. And this is all publicly available on my website and through other many repositories as well. And Officer Casey, right? Carney, your name was?
Chad.
Your last name, sir?
Rossi.
I'm sorry, sir. I also, this is kind of off topic, but I also do research in neuroscience and computer science, and I have all of my research publicly available on my website. So I don't have a criminal record or any misdemeanors. I never harass these people, and I submitted an application to work there in 2014 and 2016, but they've been stalking me for a very long time and abusing me and my family, and I want to have nothing to do with these people, and I want to file a protective order against them. And if the police and the judge deny it, I'm not going to harass the police, but if they come near my property or my person, I'm going to gather evidence against them. And if they try and use force against me as a function of the Castle Doctrine and my stand the ground laws in New Jersey, I will use appropriate force if they try and hurt me.
Okay. That's very well put together.
Yes, Officer Ross.
So then you know how in the state of New Jersey that restraining orders are only for domestic violence, right? You know that?
I didn't know that, sir.
Yeah, so we don't have typical like protective
Jurisdiction
orders like that.
Yeah.
Usually our restraining orders are for domestic violence, victims.
Okay.
Which wouldn't apply in your case.
Okay, sir.
There are other orders you can try to get through the court.
Sure.
That's all through the court, not through us.
So would that be the federal district court, sir? Or the New Jersey state courts?
You could try Morristown first for Morris County Court first.
Okay, I didn't know that, sir. I'm sorry.
No, listen.
Yeah, because I'm sorry to interrupt you, Officer Rossi, because I was looking up the laws online, and it said that I could file protective orders, but I didn't know that was outside of your jurisdiction. So
yeah, so the domestic violence was typically what we deal with.
Yes.
Right, but that wouldn't fit here.
Okay.
But there are other different types of orders, but that's all through the court, not through us.
Okay.
All right. So that's who you'd have to deal with.
Okay.
Who else do you live with here?
Just by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
No one else lives here with you?
My father does.
Okay.
Well, he owns the house, but I'm living here right now by myself. Yeah.
Where's your father?
He's on the road right now. He works for UPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of which?
Well,
facility?
there are multiple hubs that he works out of, Cranberry and Edison, but he goes in between those and he travels cross country. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's like a tractor trailer driver for UPS?
Yeah, and he's part of a union too, and yeah, he drives for UPS.
Okay. All right.
United Parcel Service.
All right. Is there anything else that we can do for you today?
Well,
besides that?
well, what's within your jurisdiction? Is it possible if you could contact the Menlo Park Police or the Palo Alto Police and tell them to cease and desist?
What, for Zuckerberg
Yes,
harassing you?
Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. Yes.
It's a little bit out of. You'd have to deal with them directly,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Because I've called them. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Officer Rossi. Every time I call the Palo Alto Police or the Menlo Park Police, they tell me to call my local police.
Okay.
And then now you're telling me to call them, but then that's what they did before.
So you're saying Mark Zuckerberg directly is harassing you, right?
Yes, sir. And I have evidence going back for the last 8+ years.
How's he harassing you?
Well, he's sending threats to me over the internet. He's called me before and threatened me and my family before over voicemail on the internet, on my phone, via emails, on my website, on private forums where I have posts of such forums. He's hacking my devices, and I traced his wiretaps back to his Virginia data center, and I have the evidence from the background reports about my girlfriend's family, and then her father confessed to me about what happened.
Where's your girlfriend live?
Right now, she's a hostage in Southern California,
In Southern California.
Central Southern California. Yes.
Where at though?
I'm not exactly sure, sir.
sure.
I knew a few years ago that she was probably within Mr. Zuckerberg's domicile, but I don't know where she is now. That was about 5 years ago.
How'd you meet your girlfriend?
I met her online on the website omegle.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had a relationship, and she's a real person, and I spoke to her father and her mother too. I knew their names since they were 2012, since I met her in 2012, and she was just a regular poor person from Illinois, like I was. We're not very rich or at all, working class family, and her father told me the truth about what happened to her daughter, and that he was forced to sell his daughter into sex slavery, and they had coerced him into joining the Freemasons against his will under the duress of torture and death, and they were going to kill him and his family, and he didn't want to do it, but he was forced to, and then I guess his wife divorced him and then married into some family in California, a Mr. Kale, and that's what they had done, and I had found this out, and he told me this back in 2019, Mr. Roberto Santiago, but he told me to stop calling him because he was afraid, not of me, but of what they might do to him, so I stopped calling him. And then I gathered more evidence since 2019 up until 2021 when I tried to file 2 federal lawsuits, 2 civil lawsuits, and they were suppressed in the courts. And I have that evidence on my website as well too. And I've been trying to reach to many jurisdictions, the FBI and other federal jurisdictions, to get justice for what happened to me, because they keep torturing me and harassing me and my family, and I don't want to associate with these people.
So what did the federal agency say to you?
So what happened was I submitted tips online for a few years from 2016 to 2019. Then on October 15 to 2019, I went to the field office in Newark, New Jersey, the FBI field office, and I spoke with a special agent named Special Agent Laura Tudell in person. And she was taking down my notes, and then she told me she would investigate. And then later, about a month and a half later, or 2 months later, because I was making terroristic threats against Mark Zuckerberg for him torturing me and my family, a special agent named Mr. Ventura visited me and told me that the FBI was investigating. But then in 2020, before I filed my first lawsuit, I filed a Freedom of Information Act request in terms of their information that they had, in terms of any tips or any documents, and they told me they didn't have anything. So I found out that they were lying to me. So they weren't investigating at all, and they were lying to me. And then I filed my first lawsuit, and then I filed a class action lawsuit, and both lawsuits were denied for unjust reasons, without prejudice.
And that was all through the federal court system?
Yes, sir. The Federal District Court of Newark, New Jersey, sir.
All right, let me go talk to Officer Evans, all right?
Okay, thank you, Officer Rossi. And also, this is peer reviewable on my website if you want to look at it for yourself, per your discretion. And also, I have a lot of interesting research on my website that might be useful to you concerning neuroscience, physiology, and so on and so forth.
What's your website?
It's johnclasheris.wordpress.com, sir.
Okay.
And it's all free information.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem, Officer Rossi. Excuse me, are your officers done or no?
What's that?
Are your officers done discussing this? Can I go back inside or not?
We just need a couple more minutes, please.
All right,
If
okay,
you don't mind.
no problem.
Thank you.
John,
Yes, sir.
tell me a little bit about your website. I want to know a little more about that.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different information on our website about the lawsuits and evidence. I have research there concerning neuroscience, vasodilation physiology, computer science, stock market prediction algorithms, in terms of the...
Did you say stock market prediction algorithm?
Yes, sir. So...
How'd you get into that?
Well-
How's it all connected?
Well, what happened was back in 2021, there was a frenzy by retail traders for the GameStop stock,
Okay.
and I wanted to sell a stock market prediction algorithm for $1 per license.
Okay.
And I study statistics and Markovian analysis in terms of Markovian dynamics concerning probabilistic statistics concerning hidden models and also other hidden variables on the stock market. So I created an algorithm that's 89 to 99% accurate.
Is that good?
Well, yeah, it's one of the most accurate algorithms that has ever been made in terms of a series of equations and algorithms thereof. And I have proof of my trading on E-Trade as well too. And I have,
You make any money?
well, I made about a 60% return in the course of one day, and I outcompeted the entire market while reducing my risk. And by exponentially so by doing the research that I did, and that's all publicly available information. I'm not even selling the algorithm for $1 anymore. And people have been stealing my intellectual property for years, and I have evidence of what they've been doing. I'm also a science fiction author and a nonfiction author too. So I've written 7 books in my life, and 6 of them are fiction works, and one of them is a nonfiction philosophy book. And then also I have the evidence of what's happening to me in the lawsuits on my website, and I have other miscellaneous information there about the anomalous chronology of the stalking in my life and everything else. But that's much more anecdotal testimony because that had been happening to me since I was a little child, and these people have been stalking my family for a very long time, but I don't personally know them besides they're public figures, and I don't want to associate with them, and they keep trying to hurt me and my family. And
Mark.
yes, Mr. Zuckerberg and Palmer, Freeman Lucky, John Carmack, Peter Thiel, and all of their
I
associates.
don't know who those guys are.
Yeah, they're very famous CEOs and billionaires in California. I don't know anything about them personally, and I never associated with them personally. I don't even know how they know who my family are, but they've been stalking me for years.
That's what I was trying to figure out. That's why I asked that question before.
Yes,
I was
sir.
like,
Yeah, I don't-
How did we get here, you know?
Well, I don't know what their motive is. Maybe they did some genealogical tracing on my family. I'm not exactly sure, but I have established probable cause that they've been doing this to me for a very long time, and I'm looking for the protective order. I guess you guys, it's outside of your jurisdiction, so I'm going to do some research to see if I can get it through the federal district court. And
I think that's the route to go.
yes, sir. Officer Evans, yeah, I'm sorry for bothering you guys and holding you up
you're
here.
good.
Yes, but thank you for giving me the fair benefit of the doubt, sir, and listening to me and being.
So tell me a little bit about the girlfriend.
Yes, her name is Isabella Santiago. She's actually 3 years older than I am.
Okay. How'd you guys meet?
Yeah, we met on the website Omegle.com, a chatting website.
What is it?
Omegle.com.
Megal?
Omegle.
Omegle.
Yeah, so
Never heard of
it's an anonymous chatting website, and then we had an affinity for one another, and we talked for a few years, and she wanted to move in with me, but then eventually what happened was I applied to work at Facebook, and they found out who she was, and they had contacted her family, and they had threatened her, and they had sex trafficked her to California, and I haven't been able to speak to her in years, so I don't even know what's happening to her.
How long ago was that?
This had happened in 2016, October 26th of 2016.
Where were you living then? Was that in Jersey
I was
City?
living in Elizabeth, New Jersey, sir.
Elizabeth, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What brought you guys out this way? Who do you live here with?
My father.
Okay, just dad?
This is my father's property.
Did you live here in Elizabeth with him, or did you move out here with him?
Well, we had an apartment there in Elizabeth that I helped him pay for and with the bills and stuff too when I used to work. But sometimes he would stay there because he used to work in Edison and Linden too at another job. But this was also his other property too with his former wife. But she wasn't paying mortgage or the utilities or even her own cost of living expenses for about 8 to 9 years. So my father divorced her and then kicked her out. And then now he has the title to the property and he's still paying the outstanding mortgage. But he's letting me stay here, and I'm assisting him with the the responsibilities of the house, and I'm going to be doing a data science boot camp. We're getting a job soon, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you used to work, what did you do for work?
I was a data analyst for a company in Linden, New Jersey called My Distributors. They're a private vendor on Amazon that sells goods on Amazon. So they repackage goods as a redistributor, and I would do data analysis and data entry and data reconciliation. So what that means was I would do like bookkeeping and accounting for this company in terms of managing invoices and seeing what Amazon had lost in terms of our shipments and reconciling the difference. So I had saved my company around $250,000 in 8 months, and I had gone from a $12 salary to about $14.50 salary. But my boss had pointed a gun at me, and he was very threatening to me, even though I didn't say anything bad to him or hurt him at all.
Okay.
And we got into a labor dispute about him hiring me an assistant and me asking for a $2 to $3 pay raise and for health insurance. So then I just quit voluntarily, and then I went on unemployment. And then I worked on Wall Street for a little bit at a merchant cash advance firm, but I was never paid because it was a contractual basis for a commission, and I was going to sell term loans. And then I haven't found work since then, but I've been doing research by myself personally, privately.
Okay. Kind of like that self-taught, like everything else.
Autodidactically, yeah.
Where'd you go to? You go to high school?
Yeah, I went to Dr. Ronald E. McNair Academic High School in Jersey City.
Okay, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a very
Private?
it's a public magnet school for very gifted and intelligent students.
Okay.
But back in high school, I was not very intelligent. I was like a C+ to B+ student. But by
So you
taking
get degrees, right?
by taking neurogenic compounds from 2019 up until 2021, I massively increased my intelligence, and I had ameliorated my major clinical depression, and I've become very resilient to stress and the torture that they're putting me through. And that's all.
What did you say you took?
Neurogenic compounds. These are compounds that complexify and differentiate the brain matter in your brain and also other organs in your body, and they're very safe to take. They have low incidence side effect profiles, but you should always reduce harm and make sure you know what you're putting in your body, because
for sure.
side effects can always happen, but they're mostly safe and they're all legal. So
Is that a pill?
yeah, they're like pills and supplements, powders. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's about $11 per unit cost.
What's in it?
A few substances: alpha GPC, adrafinol, colorastim, a few different types of substances. There's about 13 or 14 that I take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. You still take them now?
No, I haven't had money to take them, but my brain is still changing as a function of what I did. My vision has gotten better.
Has it like a lasting effect kind of thing?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You take any other medications right now?
No.
No.
Well, my dad is prescribed Xanax, and sometimes he gives it to me if I'm feeling anxious, but I don't abuse it.
Okay. So you sometimes take Xanax?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I'm being prescribed gabapentin for the stress I'm going through, because my doctor gave it
For the what?
for the microwave torture. Okay. My doctor wouldn't prescribe me Xanax or anything else, but he prescribed me gabapentin for it.
That's a pain medication, no?
Well, it's supposed to be like to dampen neuropathic impulses in your peripheral and central nervous system. So,
and which doctor prescribed that?
his name is Dr. Sidhu Idrisu. I have to talk to him today, actually, so I can't talk for too long because I have to talk to him in an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. There you go. You got time.
Yeah. There's nothing you guys can really do, right?
I'm not saying that. I gotta find out more information. There's a lot. You're telling me a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta try and figure out which way we gotta go with it, right?
Okay, all right. So I mean, there's nothing really else for me to say. Can you guys just leave, because you can't get the protective order? Can I just go back inside, please?
Not right now.
Why?
Because I can't. You can't go inside right now.
Why, officer?
Because you gotta talk to somebody else.
Talk to who?
She's coming this way.
Are you talking about an EMT?
Yes.
Why, sir?
Because listen. Can I be frank with you, John?
Are you gonna 5150 hold
I'm
me?
not gonna 51. Let's not talk about numbers. We're not talking about numbers right now.
I didn't do anything, officer.
Listen, can I? I've been cool with you, right?
Officer, I didn't do anything.
I'm not saying you did anything.
But I don't want to go to the psychiatric hospital.
That's fine. I get that. We still gotta talk to him.
Are you calling me psychotic, sir?
No, I'm not.
No, I don't want to go to the psychiatric hospital,
But
sir.
none of the stuff you're telling me is true.
It is true, sir. I have proof on my website.
Okay, that's fine.
It is true.
Listen.
I don't want to be deprived of my civil liberties and rights again. I didn't do anything
I don't want that to happen
wrong.
to you either.
Officer, I don't want to be sent to the hospital.
I'm not saying you're going.
I'm not psychotic, sir.
I'm not saying you're
Why
going.
did you call the EMTs?
Done.
Why did you call the EMTs?
We didn't call them. So if we basically, you know how they came the last time I had to talk to you real quick and then they left?
Okay.
That's basically what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'll talk to them then.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but if they take me and my civil rights are deprived, I'm going to sue your police department.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm not psychotic, and I'm telling the truth about what happened to me.
We are not saying
You didn't have to call the EMTs.
Unfortunately, we have rules that we gotta follow.
But what caused you to have the reasonable suspicion for that judgment? I'm not a danger to myself or anybody else. What's your cause? So what's your cause for that, sir? Why did you call them?
Previously, when they were here, you were explaining a similar issue.
Yes, I spoke to Officer Gerando, and then the EMTs never came. He said I established probable cause.
John, the EMTs aren't coming.
No,
Okay,
no,
the nurse is
it's
coming.
not
That's
the
it.
EMT.
Okay,
It's not EMTs, okay?
am I going to be forced to go to the hospital?
Not right now, no. All you gotta do is talk to her.
Okay, fine.
It's just like you're doing to me right now.
All right.
You
Okay?
talk to her the way you're talking to us.
You'll be okay.
Okay, sir. All right.
So just relax, take it easy, and when she gets here, she's probably gonna ask you a couple questions that you probably heard before, and then go through the motions with her.
Okay.
And we'll be out of your hair.
Okay.
But we just gotta go. Just bear with us. And
But
just,
what led you to the reasonable suspicion that I was a danger to myself and others to call the EMT?
when you were explaining the same issues you were having previously.
Yes.
And that they called because they were concerned that these issues were
Who called? The Mount Olive Police Department?
the last time they were here. Yeah.
No, they didn't call the EMTs. I spoke to Officer.
No EMTs. But they have to call someone.
I didn't speak to a medical screener the last time I was here. I spoke to Officer Gerando and Officer Bryan. They never called any EMTs, and they said I established probable cause.
We don't talk to the same people every time. So like when we call, like they spoke to a screener over the phone.
Listen, if I have to go to the hospital, I have to call my father because my dog is in the backyard.
That's totally fine.
Listen, because somebody has to take care of the dog if I'm going to be restrained against my will. But I'm not. Excuse me. Let me speak, sir. I'm not voluntarily consenting to go to the hospital.
That's fine.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're not saying you have to go to the hospital. You just gotta talk to the lady. That's it.
Why did you call the medical screener? I'm not psychotic or a threat to myself or anybody else. And I'm truthfully testifying, officer. Why did you call the EMT screener?
Because we have to.
Why?
Because of some of the things you've said.
Like what? Like what, sir? Explain.
The Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, he's actually doing it. I have evidence that he is.
Fine. Okay. Listen, just don't get angry.
I'm not getting angry, sir. You're depriving me of my civil liberties and civil rights again. You're gonna send me to the hospital, and I didn't do anything wrong.
You're getting ahead of yourself again. I don't think you're going to the hospital.
But you didn't need to call the medical screener.
Yes, I did.
Why, sir? What led you to believe that I was delusional or psychotic, sir?
Everything you've said to me.
What are you talking about? I have evidence on my website.
That's fine. You understand it's frustrating. You get that? That this is a frustrating process that you're going through with all the stuff that you've been seeing on the internet and whatnot, I'm assuming, where you're doing your research, that you're frustrated. But if you can just remain relatively calm when
Okay.
you talk to us,
Sure.
like we're talking now,
All right.
when this lady gets here, I don't think we're going to have any problems.
Okay, sure.
We will
All right.
be out of your hair, and you can go about the rest of your day doing whatever.
All right, fine. I'm recording you.
If when she gets here, you get irate or
Okay,
frustrated,
all
or
right.
you start getting very excited,
All right.
she's probably gonna have more questions.
Okay.
So if you just sit down, relax.
Sure.
Hopefully she won't take too long.
Okay.
She gets here. Talk to her real quick. She's gonna ask you probably the same questions Officer Evans asked you. Like,
Okay.
Like he asked her, are you having feelings of hurting yourself?
No.
So she's gonna ask you the same stuff.
Okay.
The same thing.
All right.
I'm pretty like certain that she's gonna say, okay, no problem.
All right.
Okay, so it's just when we call, like the reason they didn't come last time and the reason they're coming this time is we don't talk to the same people every time. We call like basically like a call center, and they just assign it to a
So
different.
I want your establishment of your reasonable suspicion, most directly so, as to why you think I'm a psychotic danger to.
You're getting off that whole com page, right?
Sorry.
Main com. Okay?
All right.
I've explained it to you, so I don't believe any of that to be true.
Why?
Because I don't.
Can you explain why?
There's just because something's on a website, right? Doesn't mean it's true. I think we
What?
can agree to that, right?
But what about Edibles or Santiago? What about the evidence of the wiretapping and the hacking, the confession given to Jonas Krohn, everything else, and the censorship?
We don't want to argue with you about what is true and what's not. You're obviously entitled to your opinion, right? You're a grown man. You can formulate your own opinions, and we can have ours. We don't have to argue about that.
Okay, fine. Then we don't need to discuss this anymore.
so-
I'll wait for the screener and then I'll talk to her.
100%. We can talk about something else if you want. You know.
I don't want to talk to you.
Okay, that's fine. Are you good with just hanging out then?
Yes, but if the screener has to take me, then I want you to guide me into the house and let my dog back into the house and call my father so one of his friends can come here and take care of the dog.
Yeah, we can work that out.
All right.
As long as you're good with that.
Yes. Well,
I don't think that's going to be the case.
hold on. I don't know how my dog's going to react to you. So can I go back inside the house by myself or no?
I would prefer if we just hung out for now.
But what about my dog? She's in the backyard.
In the back?
And the door to the back is bolted with the bolt on the floor.
Okay. I think she'll be okay outside for a little bit. It's not like raining or cold or anything. It's not going to be long.
I'm very disappointed in you two.
Okay.
I'm not lying, and I'm not psychotic, and I'm not a danger to myself or anybody else. And I've been severely abused and deprived of my civil liberties and rights for doing nothing wrong. I have no criminal record or misdemeanors at all, and I've been a victim of extreme crimes.
It's understandable. I get you're frustrated. I probably would be too. How long you had that website for?
I don't want to talk to you, officer.
Okay.
What relevancy does it bear to you? Because nothing on there is true.
I'm just curious.
Curious about what? It bears no relevancy to you. It's all nonsense, right? It's not truthful, right? I'm psychotic, right?
I'm not saying that.
Then why did you call the EMT screener?
Because you're a little, like, excited. You know, more excited than what I would consider appropriate for the situation. Which is why I'm trying to remind you, if you just remain calm and just
All right.
relax, that
Okay.
you won't have any problem.
Okay, Officer Carney.
The more excited you get, the more excited other people are going to get.
Okay.
It's going to like snowball. You know what I
Okay, Officer Carney.
mean? Let's see if he wants to take that walk in.
Well, listen, officers, I have to get back into the house to let the dog in and lock the door because the door is unlocked.
Yeah, you said that. We're not going anywhere right now.
Okay, but can you trust me to go back into the house to let the dog back in?
If you can agree with us to speak to this lady first.
Sure.
Okay.
But I'm just saying in the case that I have to go to the hospital unjustly so against my will.
That's totally fine.
All right.
We will work with you and be accommodating as much as we can.
Okay, officer.
Have we not so far?
No, because you called the EMT screeners unjustly on me because I'm not a danger to myself or others.
It's not a personal choice for me, John. Like, I don't
But
go out of my way to make your
But the
life
last time the Mount Olive police came here, they said I established probable cause and they gave me the fair benefit of the doubt and they said that I was not psychotic.
because they spoke to a screener.
No, they didn't call the EMT screener.
Yes, they did.
They never did.
I can read all the reports of what was done
Okay.
in past interactions, and that's what they did.
Okay, do you want
Physically.
do you want the officer's name? The two officers?
I saw him this morning.
Officer Gerondo and Officer Bryan?
Yeah.
They never called the EMT screener. The EMT screener never came to my house.
Come here. They called them on the phone.
Okay,
That's what I'm telling you.
all right.
What I'm trying to explain is you talk to a different screener every time. Sometimes the screener will come, sometimes they don't.
All right.
This lady happened to want to come.
Okay.
I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't know why they do what they do.
All right.
But here we are.
All right.
Okay?
How long is it going to take for the screener to get here?
Should be another few minutes.
I don't know.
A few more minutes, I would think.
All right.